Secretary will call the roll.
Allen, Anderson, Bates, Bell, Berryhill, Block, Canella, De Leon, Fuller, Gaines, Galgiani, Glazer, Hall, Hancock, Hernandez, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Huff, Jackson, Lada, Leno, Leyva, Liu, McGuire, Mendoza, Mitchell, Monning, Morlock, Morrell, Wynn, Nilsson, Pan, Pavley, Roth, Runner, Stone, Vidak, Wykowski, Wolk.
A quorum is present. Would the members and our guests beyond the rail and the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this morning by our guest chaplain, Father Jerry Robinson, Jesuit priest and chaplain of Cristo Rey High School in Sacramento, after which please remain standing, and we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Senator Block.
Let us pray. God of generosity and magnanimity, it is giver of gifts that we first come to know you. Creation in all its beauty and glory, life with all its possibilities, sorrow and joy, all is gift. Through these gifts, we're brought into being and come to know you as the supreme giver. We know you have gifted us and will continue to gift us. So it is that this day we approach you with trust and confidence. We ask again that you give us what we need. Bless this deliberative body with wisdom and insight. Give this Senate your vision. Show us the course that will be of greatest benefit for all the people we serve. Give also to this Senate courage and will. Show us the way to implement the vision you place in our hearts. We make this prayer to you as this new day of deliberation and service begins. May your generous and loving spirit inspire this Senate today and every day. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, members, we'll now move to privileges of the floor. Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I would ask that we start this morning off with a moment of silence, if we might, in memory of the 9 people who were slaughtered last night at a church in South Carolina. A horrific act of violence, inexplicable act of violence after apparently a young man prayed with congregants at this church for an hour and then opened fire and killed 9 innocent people, including apparently a member of the South Carolina State Senate. And for many of us, I think probably for all of us here, an inexplicable act of hatred and violence that is incomprehensible to us all. So I would ask that we take a moment of silence in memory of those good people and in prayer for those who have survived and also for the families of those who passed.
Please, a moment of silence. And our thoughts and prayers go to those families and to the members of that congregation, and we just pray that this nation can remain as one. Under privileges of the floor, Senator Pan.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce to you pleased to have my nieces come visit from D.C. We have Catherine Pan and Sarah Pan here with me today, as well as my son, William Pan. So they're just here to watch democracy in action, since I think we do it better here in Sacramento than they do it in D.C. at the moment. So again,
Welcome to the Pan family. Members under privileges of the floor. Senator Berryhill.
Mr. President, if the President Pro Tem does not have a presentation, I do.
Please proceed.
Members, if you could get your attention back here. I would like to introduce Paul Ratchford, the Regional General Manager of Tenaya Lodge at Yosemite, located in the Sierra Nevada mountains, just outside Yosemite National Park, as well as his wife, Christy Ratchford. Also, Catherine Potter, the Marketing Manager at Tenaya. It is a gem in the Sierra Nevadas and a fantastic place to visit with your family. They're here today to recognize the 25th anniversary of the Lodge. The Lodge opened its doors in 1990, back when Yosemite Park was seeing about 3 million annual visitors. Now the park sees over 4.5 million and is celebrating its own milestone of 125 years just this October. Over the past 25 years, Tenaya has provided jobs to about 15,000 people and has maintained a long tradition of supporting and giving back to the community, donating on an average of more than $100,000 a year to local nonprofits and schools. Guests at Tenaya Lodge can enjoy activities ranging from archery to guided nature hikes, swim one of the 5 pools, or just take in the scenery around the Yosemite area. It's truly beautiful up there. Members, please join me in congratulating Paul and the folks at Tenaya Lodge on the past 25 years and extend the best of wishes for continued success in their future. Thank you. And
thank you, Senator Berryhill. Congratulations to Paul and Christy Rathford. Members, if we could now move forward to the Senate Pro Tem. Oh, Senator Hancock.
Privileges of the floor. Hold this. Members, before we get into the real order of business today, I would like us all to celebrate the great victory of the Golden State Warriors from Oakland, who are the 2015 NBA champions. This is the Warriors' first NBA championship for 40 years, since 1975, and as probably most of you know, they did beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 4 games to 2 games. Great games. They were led by the league most valuable player, Steph Curry, and the finals most valuable player, Iguodala. Yeah. And they brought the Larry O'Brien Trophy back to California for the first time since 2010. Great celebrations in our community. Yesterday, peaceful, joyful, and a good note to start our morning. Senator.
And Senator Hancock and I are going to reach out and see if we can bring them to Sacramento to have each and every one of you celebrate with them. See you, Randy.
Congratulations to the Warriors. Thank you. Senator Pavley.
Yes, being from Los Angeles area, Senator Hancock and Senator Wachowski, I'd like to note that the Warriors, the first time the Warriors have won in 40 years is because one reason is their coach from Pacific Palisades, in my former district, and now Ben Allen's district. His first year of coaching, what did it take? He's a Palisades High School graduate, went to, I think, University of Arizona and played. He did a tremendous job, so let's give some credit where credit is due. Southern California aided in helping keeping the championship in California. Congratulations.
This is a great victory for all of California, everybody.
Stephen Kerr.
Thank you, members. We'll now move to Pro Tem De Leon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, this morning I have the pleasure of introducing a group of distinguished visitors from the Japanese business community in the state of California. 13 leaders of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California and the Japanese Business Association of Southern California, as our two great senators, one from Southern California and the other from the Bay Area, talked about. It's Northern Cal and Southern Cal all together. We're one California. These members are participating in their annual trip to the state capital to highlight the importance of California-Japan relationship and to discuss trade as well as investment opportunities. I had a wonderful opportunity and the honor to go to Japan just recently with our esteemed colleague, the leader of the Republicans in the state Senate, my good friend, who happens to represent the largest concentration of Asian Americans anywhere in the state of California as our state senator, as well as our wonderful colleague from Santa Barbara. We had an opportunity to go to Japan to strengthen the understanding and the mutual beneficial relationship that our region already enjoys. Not only do we share a robust economic and historical ties, but we have a valued friendship. Given Japan's world-renowned high-speed rail system, this relationship is particularly valuable to us as we construct our own. Our region also shares the reality of being located in two of the most seismically active areas in the world. Therefore, the protection of our citizens it's imperative that we continue to share best practices in this area. In addition to working with each other in areas of mutual policy interest, businesses from Japan play a major role in California's economy. In fact, California has become a top location for Japanese manufacturing plants, distribution centers, retail outlets, and finance operations, creating thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in state and local tax revenue. This delegation is composed of executives of major Japanese companies doing business within the state who contribute on a daily basis to the vibrancy, the diversity, and the strength of California's economy. I would like to especially acknowledge from the delegation leaders, Mr. Hitosho Yamamuro, who is the president of the JCCNC, that is the Japanese Chamber of Commerce from Northern California. He is also the vice president and the regional director of Japan Airlines. Also with us is Mr. Hideo Miyake, who is the president of the Japanese Association, who is the vice president and this director of administration for all Nippon Airways. Please join me, colleagues, as we extend a very warm welcome to our very esteemed visitors to the California State Chamber.
Yeah, we've got you. Okay. Yeah, we got you. Good. Welcome to the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California and the Japan Business Association of Southern California. Thank you. Okay, members, if I could have your attention, please. We're going to go ahead and move forward if we could. Messages from the governor will be deemed read. Messages from the assembly will be deemed read. Reports of committee will be deemed read and amendments adopted.
Thank you. Asked to clear.
You could please get your attention, members. Thank you. Motions, resolutions, and notices. Senator Anderson.
Senators, I'd like to remove number 86, AB 892, from the special consent calendar, number 3.
The desk will note. Thank you. Senator Wieckowski.
Likewise, Mr. President, I'd like to remove AB 807 from the special consent calendar to the third reading for purposes of amendment.
Great. The desk will note. Senator Monning.
Yes, under motions and resolutions, I'd like to request on behalf of the author that we remove AB 539 by Assemblymember Levine, item number 83, from the consent calendar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The desk will note. Oh, Senator Mitchell.
For motions?
Under motions and resolutions.
Yes, sir. At the request of the author, file item 53 would like to remove Bill AB 562, again, file item 53 from the consent calendar.
The desk will note. Thank you. Senator Fuller.
I would like to request item 92, ACR 33, removed from the consent calendar. I would like to take it up today.
Secretary, please read. This is item 92. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 33 by Assemblymember Atkins relative to women veterans.
Members and President, ACR 33 celebrates our women veterans and recognizes June 12th as Women's Veterans Day. I am proud to have worked with Assembly Speaker Tony Atkins on this honorable resolution, and I am touched by the dedication and service of these women and their commitment to serving our country. Women have served in the military since the creation of the Army Nurse Corps in 1901 and have continued to serve our country in the armed forces. There are currently more than 2 million women veterans in the United States and Puerto Rico, with more than 165,000 in California. Please join me in showing our sincere appreciation to all of our women veterans. Thank you.
Thank you. Any debate or discussion? Senator Morrell? Oh, Senator Runner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm actually a mother of a woman veteran, so I also rise to support ACR 33. My daughter served 4 years in the U.S. Coast Guard, and during that time of the Haiti earthquake, their boat was the first one to offer help. I think she was 19 at the time and was able to go ashore, help with the medics, take photos that ended up on the White House website to raise money for the Haitians there, and even delivered a baby. So she grew up in that day in the military and currently serves as I think a widow wife. Her husband's in the Coast Guard. They met on that same ship, and he goes out 3 months at a time and comes back for a month. And so she had a little 2-year-old, my grandson, to take care of. So I really want to thank her specifically, but all the women members of the military need to be honored, and I'm glad we can do that today. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, further debate or discussion? Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also would like to rise in support of this very special Veterans Day for women. Many are not aware that since the War of Terror began in September of 2001, 144 women have given the ultimate sacrifice for this country and need to be especially honored. So I applaud the Speaker and our Senator Leader-elect for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Members, further debate or discussion? Senator Jackson?
Thank you. Just very briefly, on behalf of the Legislative Women's Caucus, I want to also join in and thank our women veterans. We frequently forget them, but they have served our country with great distinction throughout all wars, and today serve even more vigorously and stand by our male soldiers to protect our country, and have done great honor to their service and to the people of this country, and join in and thank Senator Fuller for carrying this measure on the Senate floor.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. Further debate or discussion? Seeing none, Senator Fuller, would you like to close?
Thank you. I would just like to ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Cannella. I. De Leon. Fuller. I. Gaines.
Aye.
I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Weso. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. Leno. I. Leyva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. Nilsson. I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
De Leon. Huff. I. Lada. Mendoza. Wynn. Aye.
Ayes 37, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Members, moving to motions, resolutions. Senator Monning.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I move for the suspension of Senate Rule 29 for the budget measures reported by the Budget and Fiscal Review Committee today. Asking for an aye vote.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll. This is suspension of the Senate rules.
Allen. I. Anderson. Bates. Bell. I. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Cannella. No. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines.
No.
No. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. Hill. I. Weso. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. Leno. I. Leyva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nilsson. No. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Anderson, no.
Call the absent members.
Bates. De Leon. Hertzberg. Lada. Mendoza.
Ayes 22, noes 13. The Senate rules have been suspended. Senator Hill.
Motions and resolutions, Mr. President?
Yes.
Please remove file item 90, AB 863 Dodd, off of consent at the request of the author. And also please remove file item 97, AB 1278 Gray, off of consent at the request of the author.
The desk will note.
For purposes of amendment.
Thank you. Thank you. Senator Morrell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd also like to make a motion to move file item number 76 SR 32 to the inactive file, please.
The desk will note. Thank you. Members will now move forward to consideration of the daily file. Second reading file. Secretary, please read.
AB 596, 869 with amendments, 1024 with amendments, 323, 147 with amendments, 661, ACR 60.
Those will be deemed read. Thank you. Under Governor's appointments. Okay, we'll move forward to Senate third reading, file item 18. What is this? Senator Fuller?
I'll pass on file items 18 through 21.
Okay, thank you. File item 22, Senator Cannella. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 65 by Senator Cannella relative to June Dairy Month.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to present SCR 65, which proclaims the month of June as Dairy Month in California. June Dairy Month, originally known as National Milk Month, has been an annual national tradition since 1937. It celebrates the contributions of the dairy industry to the economy and diet of the American people. California has over 1,500 dairy farms ran by hardworking families who have weathered regulatory, environmental, and market challenges. These families have made California the top dairy-producing state in the nation since 1993. More than 1/5 of the nation's total milk production comes from our state. The California dairy industry provides the state with 189,000 milk production jobs, with 30,000 of those being on the farm and 20,000 relating to processing. As California's #1 agricultural commodity, the dairy industry produces $65 billion in total sales to the California economy and contributed $21 billion in value added to the gross state product last year. California's dairy industry has been a leader in environmental stewardship, increasing their average crop yields by more than 40%, while reducing their water use by 23% since the 1980s. With that, I ask for your support of California's dairy industry and SCR 65.
Thank you, Senator Cannella. Members, any debate or discussion? Senator Morlock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just rise in support of this resolution. My uncle that sponsored us to immigrate to the United States was a dairyman in Cypress, California, and we were able to live on his dairy for a few years, so I know the smell of money, and I support this measure. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Morlock. Members, any further debate or discussion? Senator Nielsen.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I don't know that I'm the only one on this floor that's milked cows, but I have literally milked thousands of them over the years and pulled hundreds of calves. But in both the lighthearted vein and the more serious one, first the more serious vein, though we now remain the #1 dairy state, if some things don't change in the regulatory scheme of California, we will not be for long. 150 dairies are leaving this state every year. So that clearly tells you there's something wrong with the regulatory environment in California, and we do need our milk. One day, a few years ago, I was walking past the Capitol on the West Steps with some folks. I wore cowboy boots almost every day then. I don't because of my foot right now, but I had this inspiration. I was telling them at the time how the dairies were doing so much methane conversion, and that's a part of the clean the air up that the dairy industry assuredly needs
Members,
for.
excuse me, Senator Nielsen. Members, could we please have your attention?
Utilizing the methane gas that they convert from the manure. Then I had a greater inspiration. I pointed to the dome and I said, you know, we should put a methane converter on this Capitol building. I think we could probably run half the cities in Sacramento, or the community in Sacramento. For any event, both lighthearted and heavy-hearted, we need to be mindful so we do not become the second largest dairy state.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Members, any further debate or discussion? Senator Cannella, would you like to close?
Sure. I just ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. I Canella. I De Leon. Fuller. I Gaines. I Galgioni. I Glazer. I Hall. I Hancock. I Hernandez. I Hertzberg. I Hill. I Weso. I Huff. I Jackson. I Lada. Leno. I Leva. I Liu. I McGuire. I Mendoza. Mitchell. I Monning. I Morlock. I Morrell. I Wynn. I Nielsen. I Pan. I Pavley. I Roth. I Runner. Stone. I Vidak. I Wykowski. I Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Lada. Mendoza. Runner. Aye.
Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members will now move to file item 23,